Caviar, she's gone to the lead. Haylist only 3/4 away, staying on with her. They've beaten off Warm Love and then True Persuasion, but Black Caviar at the 200 metres. The crowd starts to applaud already. She's gone 3 lengths in front. Haylist can't go on. A good battle for third, but this is why she's rated the best in the world. Have a good look at this. Black Caviar is going to be eased down to a canter. Scored by 4 to Haylist. Warm Love stayed on for third. Crystal Lily and Grand Duels trailed by True Persuasion.
The former queen of the turf, Black Caviar, winning her first of 3 Lightning Stakes. The Group 1 named after her tomorrow, which we're going to get into very shortly. Fantastic mare. We've spoken about her before. I don't think you need to say much more about how good she was.
Pretty difficult horse to beat, mate.
Yeah, turned out that way. Turned out. Let's get, for progretracing.com.au, we are, show us your tips, Beaver and Daggy, with you. Look at, Group 1 racing at Flemington, as well as some good racing in Randwick. I'm probably more excited about the Sydney card from a betting point of view, but we'll get into that later. We'll kick off down south.
Just on Black Caviar, Daggies, I do recall being at Randwick, first race, start watching it on TV, and me and my brother were there, and I said, I believe they've got a bit of a rap on this horse. I think it was about 3 to 1, 7 to 2.
Yeah.
And they backed it in, and I got 3, 7 to 2, something like that, and it absolutely bogged in. I think that was the best play day you could ever have had on it,
for
because
sure.
it didn't start much above.
The only other betting, I was there, her first win in Sydney.
Yep.
I was at the top of the member stand, and I'll never forget, no horse in the world would have caught Haylist that day. Like, he came round the bend flying.
Yeah.
And I think for probably 50 metres, everyone there live was a bit nervous, and then she went into gear. But the Quinella that day paid $5.50. Could you believe? Like, you watch it back now, and I didn't have it because I just assumed it'd pay nothing. But the Quinella that day paid $5.50, so that was the anomaly from there. But I don't really have any betting stories around her.
No, it was brilliant.
Couldn't really back her, but she was. I was lucky enough to say I saw her in the flesh, I guess. So
Yes. Nice one.
it was good to see.
Get into it.
Let's get into the preview, hey? Flemington on a good track. A little bit of drizzle around apparently tonight and possibly tomorrow, but that'll just mean it's typical Flemington in the rail true. Don't use anything scary in the track. So let's kick off with the first over the mile for the girls. Benchmark 78, a race where I really didn't have a lot of opinion. I think these are all a fairly even bunch. How about yourself?
Yeah, probably a little bit the same way as you there, mate. It is an open race. Quantum Mechanic, probably a little bit skinny, even though both it and Silent Sovereign a bit skinny in such a wide open race, because I think they could run this a few times to get a few different results. Quantum Mechanic, probably a shade disappointing last start, I thought, but maybe more suited at Flemington down the straight. Yeah. It's got Jamie Carr aboard, so yeah, it's got to be a winning chance. I thought it's good and proper.
It's a nice win last.
It was a really nice win. Nutted me out on my value bet of the day, and it's won its last 2. So, a bit of money around for it. I think it's a good chance around the $8 mark, and Necessary was good in a fairly probably weaker race at Pakenham, but won well and hit the line really well. So if the speed's on, it could be a knockout chance around 20s.
Yeah, no, cool. I think you've covered, well, there's a few other chances. Salika brings some Sydney form down around, I think it was around $9 when I did the form. Maybe a bit interesting there, but this is an even bunch and not a race I'm particularly keen to really over-invest in. Race 2, the 1100 metres for the 2-year-olds listed race. Half this field's quite exposed now, and then some fresh starters. How are you going to play this race up the straight?
Yeah, tricky little affair. I think the keys, obviously the 2 blue colours, Cummings and Friedman horses. Look, I was slightly disappointed with Frost Flowers last start when it was pretty short. I am going to back up on it. I thought it did get caught outside the lead, and it chased hard, but just probably never looked like going past them.
And Dosh might be a good horse.
Yeah.
Might have just underrated.
And it was pretty, I think it probably is suited the on pace there, and Dosh is a good horse. And it did run third. Taylor's Moment, I think, ran second in that race, and the start prior down the straight at Flemington. Frost Flowers brained it.
Yep.
So there was a little bit of form turnaround there. I think back to the straight probably suits Frost Flowers. Look, yeah, I'm going to just go that way purely on price.
Yeah, I think the market's about right with it and ingratiating blinkers go on. The form has stood up all around her. Finance Tycoon went up to Queensland and won. Obviously, Enthar's probably going to start favourite in the slipper. And before that, it beat General Bow, who's come back in very good order at the moment. So I think the two blue colours are the obvious there. And I guess a little bit of a watch on a horse with Peter Moody that's related to Ole Kirk down the bottom, Gimme Bar, who he's got a bit of a rap on. So blue colours for both of us in a race 2. Race 3 over the 1,400 metres, the clash of a very good fresh 1,400 metre horse and an up and flying Regards Marie. We saw for the most part last week the up and fit horses had the advantage, particularly at Randwick. Are you with the Regards Marie who's flying?
Oh, it's pretty hard to go past, really. They're backing it up. It's flying at the moment. Again, drawn well. Looks to get the sit just here. Buffalo River is probably the main danger, and it can be a bit inconsistent.
Yeah, Buffalo River's going life is fresh 1,400. Jamie Carr on, so I think it's here to run well. Dry Tack probably helps it out a little bit as well. Actually, probably more of a wet tracker, to be honest, in regards to that. But so any moisture around helps it. But I think Regards Marie is the obvious, and the market says that. The one that can run a place if you're looking for, or run your first fours, if you're looking for some value there, I think Irish Fame is an underrated horse, and this is a lot of numbers at the tail end of this market.
Yeah, it's a lot of. There's only 3 horses in the market, and the rest is write your own ticket.
Yeah,
and Movada, well,
I'm done with Movada.
Yeah, I just can't understand why it's so well fancied. But,
yep, no, well, 2 for the early quaddie, basically.
Yep, I think that's a 2-out race.
Yep, and you don't need to spend much more time there. The 2,000 metres benchmark 84 comes up next, and again, not a overly exciting event. I really liked the Winner Cool last start. Just when it got air, it really knuckled down, hit the line quite well, and I think is the horse on the up here. Not again finding top of the market, so there's no surprises there. I wasn't too excited about the rest of the race. Given Sikorsky, who beat quite dominantly, but it's tied to some others who went to Melbourne and went to Adelaide and stunk up the joint, and then the Duke of Plumpton did the same, which is the Takumi form line. So just looking for the up and coming Coolth for me, and I could probably be interested in a place bet at the 20s on Good Idea, just on the quick backup second up. Might not be with us anymore. What about yourself? How are you looking at the race?
Yeah, I think you probably summed it up pretty well there. I think Coolth is the horse on the way up here. Looks to be, there's a question mark around some of the other form there. Walk Critic was okay last start, but Coolth, I think, now it's broken through. I think it can continue on its merry way here and looks one of the better bets on the card. Cool.
Race 5 is the Vanity. We see the return of some nice 3-year-old fillies in the Group 3 over the 1,400 metres. You again with the fresh or the form?
Oh, I'm with the form. I think Zoo Dancer was pretty good last start. Jamie Carr on board. I think it ran 3rd in the trial against Pinkham. I thought Pinkham was outstanding last start.
Pretty good.
Caught 3 wide the whole way and just didn't shirk its task. Won at Flemington over 1,400 prior to that. Form looks pretty good for this. Hard to beat. Nice and fresh.
No, that's cool. I'm going to go with the class here in Personal. I think she's a nice filly. Back through a record. She's got seconds to not far off Tagaloa, just missed Odium, a length of Instant Celebrity. That's all Group 1 form. I know it's Group 1 fillies form, but it is a fillies race. And I think she trialled pretty well behind, that was the Pinkham trial, I think.
Same trial.
Yeah, she came through there and she trialled fine. And I think might be best horse. Gate 1, always a bit of a concern at Flemington, but not many ride it better than Ollie. So for me, at around the 460, I'm going to be backing her and respect your... I don't think, the more I think about it, I don't think there's much beyond the 2 we've talked about, actually. And so you're getting $5 for one and $3.60 the other. That's not bad betting.
Yep.
Race 6, over the mile, benchmark 84. We see Milton Park, who's up and going and flying at the moment, out to a mile. Are you there, or are you going with the Waller horse Skyman?
No, I'm going Milton Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ollie aboard the 2 out of 2 have been pretty good. I think it gets like a fairly good run here. It should control the pace.
Yep.
And hopefully have something in the tank when they're coming for home. And look, the step up to 1600, I think, plays into its hand. It's won over 1400 at Flemington a couple of starts back, beating El Salto. Yeah, for me, it looks just cherry ripe and hard fit, ready for this.
Not much to add. I'm with it as well. On top for me, Milton Park, great ride. I think Ollie, he showed what he does well on these sort of horses on Best of Days last week. I think he gets the same run here with no pressure, and King Magnus sits on his back and probably runs second, I think, around $12. So they're the 2 bets I'll have in the race. I think not really touching any of the resumers, and the rest of the field is all well exposed again and just making up numbers these days.
Yeah, I'm surprised Milton Park's not the favourite, to be honest.
Yes, so am I.
With that.
I'm not. I know Skyman was good fresh last, but I thought it just fell off a cliff a bit since then. I don't know.
And it's got to give 2.5 kilos.
Yeah.
So you Milton Park
and probably be sitting close to last.
Sitting last. The other's going to be on the pace leading from gate 2. Ollie controlling up front. We know how good he is at that. Yeah, I know which one I'll be taking.
Definitely, I'm with you there. The CSA Stakes, this is a cracker, 1,400 metres, Group 3 for the boys this time. Some spruik horses here. We've got the Kiwis starting to arrive. Not necessarily a cracker to bet into because I'm not sure I have an idea, but it could be a cracker to watch and follow the form out of. Do you have a firm opinion before I...
I don't have a firm opinion. I am going to go for the Kiwi horse, Brando.
Yeah.
Purely on the basis that they've obviously got an opinion of it to bring it here. It's never been out of the top 2. It's got group form in New Zealand, and ASAR's, finding it hard to win.
Yep. I'm with Brando too. I'm just going different form. All of these tied together. The ones that sort of out of that Portland Sky race, I'm sort of feeling they've found their mark in life. Now, Tailluer now hasn't been with us.
Yeah.
Honest, but not winning for a couple of preps. So I'm looking to Brando as well to run well here, coming through the group form over in New Zealand. And 2 freshies that trialled. I thought Cherry Tortoni's trialling pretty well, and you're getting $14. I've got a feeling they might. Well, it didn't really stay last time. I think it's more of a run on miler, and hopefully they train it that way. And Fresh can run quite well around $14 here. And Camborne flew early on last prep, and trialled well as well, chasing. I believe it was trial by Anders, I believe. So
Anders.
Yeah. So and the trial was nice. So
it was a nice trial.
Each way price there. So just looking for some different blood to what we've seen take on each other for a long time. Not interested in AIM. Won the lottery last. Oh, is it out already? Is it? Won the lottery in Gold Coast. So leave me out of that. Good race though. We get to the feature, the Group 1 Lightning Stakes up the straight over the 1,000. Won 3 times in the past by Black Caviar. Also been won by Chautauqua, Terra Vista, Lankan Rupee, Takeover Target, Miss Andretti, Choisir. A very, very nice honour roll.
Some garbage there.
Yeah, I know. Wish I had a share in any one of them. Probably Fastnet Rock actually wouldn't be a bad one to have a share in these days.
Yeah.
The Lightning, I think this is an easy race for me to have a bet into. I think Bivouac might be almost a moral. Nature Strip at its best needs a soft early half of a race. It's not getting it because Pippi's already said she's going to be putting the foot down. So no piece for Nature Strip up front. That just means that September Run and Bivouac will be in straight behind him, and Bivouac towered him up the straight last time they met.
Yeah.
He does the same thing. Bossy loves the horse, knows what he's getting. It'll be the same thing. We'll see him up in the irons as he goes past the post again, I think.
I think so too. 270 is a good price.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Yeah, I mean, the way it won last time down the straight, you can't see any reason why it won't do the same here. As you said, there's going to be some pace on with Nature Strip, Pippi, and even Fabergino. I don't think it's going to loaf.
Absolutely.
Because I don't think Fabergino can win taking a sit either. So I think that just leaves Bivouac, September Run, and even Swats That. So September Run was very good last prep, as was What's That. They were horses
September
on the way
Run,
up.
we don't know how good she is just yet, so that's the only reason
That's me too.
I would probably have if not a saver,
Well, you gotta look at this too, but September runs 550s. What's that? $16. There was nothing between those two.
That's right.
Last prep, I think they had like 2 runs against each other, and one might have won one and one might have won the other. Did they or did they not?
They did. No.
September Run beat it.
September Run beat up the straight.
Yeah, that's right.
Twice, but I think around a bend, Swatsat's better. I think September might be just a real good straight horse. I think that's a trifecta. I think I'd be quite happy to leave Nature Strip out altogether and play
quite interesting.
The two girls running on to chase Bivouac.
September Run had all its run in Flemington, and the 2 trials were at Rose Hill.
Yeah. Would have spelled probably up in Sydney with Waller and going back down. She's a good horse. She has said she might be the best straight horse in Australia. We don't quite know yet, but we know we're getting with Bivouac at Group 1 level. You're comparing Group 1 level to fillies form, so you've got to take that first.
Well, Bivouac at its peak, I think, might have been a nice little race with our friend Black Caviar.
I still probably would have taken the $1.50 Black Caviar, but
it would have been a nice race.
Would have been a nice race
to watch.
Yeah,
it's pretty explosive.
Yeah, and I think they've got designs of Royal Ascot after this. So
I think so.
I think 270 is fantastic, interesting. I don't quite know. Do you reckon they're going to back it in? Do you reckon this could start much shorter?
Yeah.
So 270 might be a price at the moment.
270. I mean, really, I can't understand why Nature Strip's $4.20 given last prep.
Yeah.
It was ordinary.
Neither can I. And like I said, the key to Nature Strip is getting its own bludge through the first 500.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to get it here. We've seen how quickly it pops if there's any pressure.
Like 3.5 lengths it was behind it at last start.
Yeah.
I know it's trialled and both.
Well, the trial. If you watch the trial Nature Strip, Bivouac was mowing it down the line as well. Both were under hold. They both trialled nicely. I just think we're going a better horse here with Bivouac.
Yep.
Race 9. I'm forecasting what might be a good finish of the day for the blue colours. Race 9 over the 1,200 metres, benchmark 84, and I think Little Honest Sydney Battler's a cat coming down. He's right here to run well. Just sits on pace. It's just going to be the horse they have to get past, and I'm not sure they will. And again, $4 something to find out. $4.20. $4.60. I'm not across the Ascot form, so I can't really comment on Labour Rod, but I'm just saying Sydney form is better.
Yeah, Sydney form we know has been stacking up down there, and I've gone the same way purely based on that. Labour Rod 62 kilos, so it's carrying 60 with a claim, but it's like we're back on a horse that's won one of its last 5 at Ascot.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's Kementari, it was 3 lengths off them. So
I think you said all you need to say when Kementari beat it.
Yeah,
we don't need to worry about it.
It ran 4 lengths behind him at Ascot over 1400, beaten by KC and Red Can Man.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
It's certainly not saying it can't win, but I don't think it should be $4.20. I actually think it probably should have been more around some of the horses like Impy that are $9.50.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe they know something we don't.
I'd actually back Ruben Blue up the straight before I'd back Labour Rod.
Yeah.
Again, at $10. But for me, as a cat from, I guess Ruben Blue are the two obvious for me. Milwaukee is a straight horse, and you're getting 20s, so there's another one that will be young in my quaddy before I'll probably look at Labour Rod. That said, we've been wrong before. We'll see how that plays out. But give us your thoughts. You can have the crack at the Melbourne quaddy today, Beaver. Do you want to do that one first?
Yeah, let's do that first. So my numbers are, let me just get these in my order. 2, 9, 10, 11.
Yep.
Leaving Skyman out. Looking for some value here. In the next leg, I've gone 1, 2, 6, 13.
Yep.
Gone straight to Bivouac.
Ooh, nice.
I've gone straight out here, mate. Not digging around. And in the last, looking for something to get me out here, is 4, 7, 11, and 9.
Back down from Sydney, I'm telling you. Nice. $50 gets you 78% of that quaddy with the 64 combinations. Your best and value, on Black Caviar Lightning Stakes Day?
My best is race 8, number 2, Bivouac. And my value bet comes up in race 6, number 10, Milton Park. I
am with you. My best is Bivouac as well in the Group 1. And my value for the day will be Cherry Tortoni in the CS Hayes number 2, around $14. In a day I really couldn't tag too many at double figures. ProGroupRacing.com.au. Check them out for their free tips and extensive guides. Plenty of stuff going on as we head into the back end and towards the championships as well. Let's head down to Randwick, though, to look at a preview there. The rail is in the 6 metre mark. There's supposed to be 10 to 20 mil coming tonight, so keep an eye on that. And a little bit of rain during the day. Still thinking last time it was soft here with the 6 metres. Sacramento, Malkovich, Ulysses all were able to lead and on the day, so I'm thinking maybe slightly inside, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yep.
And we'll kick off with over the 2,400 metres with a benchmark 78. How are you starting today?
I'm keeping my money.
Keeping your money. Not the worst idea. I'm going to just back up on HARPO MARX again. Is flying this prep, had a couple over 24, freshened up back to 2,000, back out to 24 in an ordinary race. Only 2 chances, which is what the market says. If it can reel in Kiss the Bride, they're the 2. If it can't reel it in, Kiss the Bride will win. So probably ready now, 5th up. It took about 4 or 5 runs to get started. Last prep, wet isn't too much of an issue and may get complete control here. So only 2 hopes for me in this race. Race 2, 1,100 metre Pierre plate for the 2-year-olds. Anything for the 2-year-olds here?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Keeping my money in my pocket again.
Stay Inside was a nice debut. I liked the win. Pretty dominant, actually chimed in and ran away from them in a couple of weeks back. J-Mac goes on. Gate 7 gets probably the same run, and I am thinking it's the logical market leader, which it is, and probably the logical bet in the race. Total Babe has complete control of the race according to Racing New South Wales maps. Was pretty good last start.
Yep.
They're the 2. Good luck as well to Carol and Jace with Akihiro. They got a small share in that with Gary Portelli, who was very good chasing Captivan on debut around the 20. So good luck. They'll be having a big day tomorrow. I'm sure the Mo will be flowing if they knock off this race.
Yes.
Good luck, guys. Race 3, the highway. You getting your hands out of your pockets yet or not?
I'm hitting the highway, bro.
All right.
There's no chance. Absolutely no chance.
You've learned your lesson.
I wouldn't, and I'm not.
Okay, well done. No Massara horses in this one, sir.
No.
Race 4, the Triscay.
I'm not much help to the punters at the moment.
Glad I brought you on the show.
Yeah, passed on the
Should have
first
teed
one.
up, man.
They'll be happy with me when it's just garbage and anything, But
Beaver's having to buy this week.
I'll get your money back later for you, punters, once you've blown it betting in those races.
Maybe here, the 1,200 metre Tristark Stakes, where I think there's maybe one leader who probably wins and no chasers, maybe half a chaser. What do you reckon about for the mares, the Group 3?
There's the moral.
Yeah.
This will be the start of the day, and that's why I haven't gone earlier, because I don't want to be chasing here. I want to be setting up the day here. It's a Tailluer for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping we bowl first tomorrow so I can sit and have a bet later on. Yes, there's no chasers here. This, according to the maps, gets control. It's going to go straight across the field. It's going to sit there, and nothing's going to run it down. The best horse, which I think will be set up for later, is Ice Bath, obviously. Probably runs a place. What more can I add to that?
Yep.
Nothing more to be said. Tailluer, probably both our best of the days, I'm assuming. The mile, race 5, benchmark 88. You got something for us here?
I need some help. It's another one that I wasn't overly keen on. I guess I probably landed more with CANASTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good last start, and I think even the step up in distance now. Won easily, won well, looks to be the in-form horse in this race. 1,600 looks perfect. Drawn off the track, which was a little bit of a worry, but assuming Rachel King can get some cover somewhere, look, I think around the $4 mark's not a bad bet.
I think go straight across the field and leads. It's where the maps have it as well. And I'm saying the lead-up race, which is a Soldier of Love, where I think 5 of them finished across the line together.
Yeah.
is no good. So I'm just not. The easiest way for me, either they're all similar, or that race is no good. So defaulting to the leader here, Rachel King, I assume, is riding it because of the weight, because Josh Parr's been attached to it. So Parr and King have swapped Canasta and Soldier of Love, but she rides these leaders as well as anyone, so no concerns there. And I think the arrangement through the different form lines flying this prep, going quite well, and back freshened up. Tommy Berry back to a mile is the main danger for me. Quaddy kicks off in race 6, the Southern Cross Stakes over the 1,200 metres, another Group 3 here. Where we see it's been saved for this. Mars Crusader trialled quite well. Are you with or against after last prep?
Look, it trialled well, but at $2.50, I'm a little bit concerned. I thought that's a little bit skinny based on a trial when last prep was pretty ordinary. And given, if it rains, even more concern there. I'm going to go for ROHYERN.
Yep.
Thought it got a bit out of its ground last start at Gold Coast, but hit the line really well, was last, had to come really wide, but ran on really well, and I think it was taking ground at the end.
Yeah.
Drawn 3 here, probably gets a little bit better run, hopefully sits a little bit closer, and I think if it's within striking range, it's certainly got the best finish in this race.
Yeah, he's been one of mine for 2 years now. No reason to disagree for him. I think it's a great each-way bet. Jason Coley inside gate's good. I imagine if there's any rain around stand, they get scratched. So I'm treating that as the wild card. If it beats me, it beats me. I think Master Crusader has come back better this prep. It just was. At the end of the day, it didn't get beat far by Fatus and Vada, who are both reasonable horses. But I think has come back better. If it leads, I think is still a horse to beat. But the bet for me is ROHYERN as well. Gemsong didn't. I almost set out trying to find Gemsong, but didn't trial great. He's just been gelded, but so interesting to see it return. But ROHYERN, the each way play for me. Race 7, the Group 2 Apollo over the 1,400 metre, cracking little race actually.
Yeah.
Do you want to lead us off the weight for age Group 2?
Yeah, as you said, it's a cracking little race, but it's made up of mostly stayers.
Yeah.
There's no real speed horses here. You've got Dream Force is probably the only horse that's sort of more of a 1,400 metre horse out of all of these.
Yeah.
We know how good Very Elegant was first up last prep. If there is any rain, that won't affect.
I think if there is any rain, I'm on it. If there's not, I'm probably away from it, to be honest.
Right, okay.
I think it's the best. Well, it is the best wet tracker in Australia, so put it that way.
But it's better horse than all of these too.
Yeah.
Colding was good first up. I think the race probably sits between the two of them, Colding and Very Elegant. Just depends how forward Very Elegant is, but if it's forward enough, I think it probably is good enough.
I think you're right. I think I loved Colding's return. It was pretty good. It's pretty simple. If Very Elegant's ready to go, it wins. If they're keeping it fresh for the Queen Elizabeth and whatever during championships, it probably runs very nicely into a place. The more I look,
thought that first up last prep too.
I tipped it last prep $8, just for the record. But so maybe I should just be not thinking and betting.
Yep.
The more I thought about it, was Dreamforce, 1,400 metre specialist, Nash on the only leader, is probably a worthwhile play here as well.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll save on.
I talked myself into it more than because I was looking more for Colding and Very Elegant. I think they're the clear 3. It'd just be how fitness plays out. I guess we'll see how they parade and everything like that. So I couldn't split those 3. Just the others are all stays. Muggatu, great horse, but too short. Colette, blinkers off first time, so obviously not even. This is just a warm-up for it. I'm tipping it probably heads towards a Queen Elizabeth and hopes for a heavy track. And we've probably spent more time than we need to talking about it. Probably a simple race, really.
Yep.
6-1, 2 for me. Group 2 Light Fingers, 1,200 metres. All the girls are back here, the 3-year-old fillies. Group 2, and this is just an interesting race because I'm not sure what all that form means from the last prep because we've seen Dame Giselle come out revved up and didn't really perform last week. Hungry Hearts trial was, I thought, only average, and then you're looking at Gold Coast form with AIM, who I've already potted at Flemington. What does that mean for me? I'm probably going to look at Thermosphere, who resumed against the older horses, chasing Big Parade, who's going to always test him. Gets Nash gate 11, hopefully a blending run here. So around the $9 mark, I'm having something on that. I could back Karma Lass at around the 20s. If it gets even wetter, I could probably be even more interested there. And Sweet Reply at 50 to 1, I'll be having something on who trial didn't say much, but probably should have won 2 races down in Melbourne and is better than a 50 to 1 chance in this race. What are you saying, Beaver?
What am I saying is I'm going to stick with Hungry Heart.
Okay.
Thought its form last prep was good enough to win a race of this quality. I know you're talking about Dame Giselle, but and it didn't probably run as well last start. But again, the speed was on. They controlled the speed last start, and I think Dame Giselle and Kirk couldn't even run them down.
Right.
So I don't.
Yeah, maybe we've underrated Rocketing By, so maybe.
Yes.
It's a good horse.
Yeah, it's one well. Yeah. I'm not putting a line through the Dame Giselle form just yet, based on that run.
The thing is, that Dame Giselle form is the form. It's 3-year-old filly form. That's where we're talking, I guess, apples to apples. So yeah, there's no reason really to do it. It's more just me on a hunch than any logical further thought. Yeah.
Yeah. So for that reason, I'm going to stick with Hungry Heart. And,
okay.
I'm not worried too much about the trial. It was good enough. So yeah, that's the way I'm going.
Cool. Now let's wrap up the day. Benchmark 88 over 1,300 metres. Wide-ish open affair, but I did think the favourite Subedar was a very good return. Chasing a good horse off an extended break. Was a very nice return there. All-time legend, actually, who was flying. Maybe has come to the end of it there. But the horse itself returned well. Trial since to tick it over for this, which is always good with the Cummings stable. And Hugh Bowman's back to his best. I think Bowman's riding fantastic at the moment.
Yep.
Easy way to finish the day for me. The 2, I will have something small on, just on the hunch. They might be good horses. Probably of all stables, Waller's not the one to sort of spec these ones because he tends to be very grand final oriented. But Arcana and Bucharest are both, I think, horses that have something. Just on the chance they both. Well, Arcana went out big winner. Trialled typically. Bucharest, same sort of thing. Just on the off chance they're better horses than the rest of these, and we don't know it yet, I'm just going to have a small saver on them. Not much else to add.
Yeah, good shout. Both horses, particularly Arcana, I followed a fair bit last prep and tipped it a few times. I agree with you. I think Subedar is one of the better bets on the day. Going back through its first up run was outstanding behind a quality horse and has since trialled and finished in that trial behind Written Beauty and Dirty Work, which are both pretty good sprinters, and wasn't overly tested. So and trial back in December as well, and won a trial at Hawkesbury behind Tiny, in front of Tiny. So look, I think this is one of the better bets.
Yep, cool. Good way to finish the day there. The Sydney Quaddie, I'll quickly punch out now. First leg of 3, 4, 7 into 1, 2, and 6 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, and 11. Gone quite wide with the girls. Home with 8, 11, 12, and if Star Spangled Rhoda gets a run, it'll go in as well. $50 gets you just on 18% there. If you want to take the opinion of Beaver and just throw Hungry Heart in and think that's the best horse, go for your life. You'll get a much bigger divvy. My best is going to be Tailluer. No surprises there, so I'll throw Subedar in as well, I guess. In fairness, my value is the 2 girls I mentioned, Thermosphere and Sweet Reply in the fillies race. How about yourself?
Yeah, I've made my best on the day, race 9, number 8, Subedar. Purely, as you said, on price. I still think Tailluer will be winning, and my value bet comes up in race 6, number 4, ROHYERN. Thought at the $6 mark, that was a nice value.
Fantastic. King of the North, mate, the Queensland bets. What have we got?
The King of the North is here.
Dig them up. I'll throw out my Morpheville one. LA Boom resumes race 1 tomorrow. Even money, but short and sweet, and get us off to a win. Yep. To start the day. What have you got in Queensland?
Got a few in Queensland. I've got race 1, number 6, Leadership Spill, around the $3 mark. So backed it a few times last prep. Thought it was pretty good. Race 5, number 3, Good Chat, which is what we always have, Daggy. And then race 7, number 6, Socialising. Outstanding last start. Tipped it, and we'll be winning again. This horse has a mean, powerful finish.
And You Make Me Smile came off that win and won very nicely for me anyway last week.
Yep.
So for our autumn punters comp, so we're going to go 12 weeks through to the end of the championships. We're going to have 100. Are we against each other or with each other for this?
I don't know. We'll go head to head, won't we?
Do you go head to head?
Yeah.
All right, let's go head to head. $100 each to spend on our each week, each Saturday, heading to the end of the championships, which is all age stakes day. I think it's about 12 weeks. So you can kick us off. How are you spending your 100?
Yep, my 100 is going to be spent firstly in Melbourne. I'm going to have 50 on Regards Marie, all on to Bivouac. There, and then I'm going in Sydney. I'm going to go a multi across Sydney, Doomben. I'm going 50 on Tailluer Subedar, Socialising.
Nice. Very aggressive out of the blocks. I like it.
Aggressive, mate. That's how I play.
Okay, I'm going to have $15 on Thermosphere at about the $8.50, $5 on Sweet Reply at 50s, $30 on Personal at around a $4.60 mark, and then the other half of it, $50 on Bivouac. I'm playing a bit safer there, just knock up my 130 at least with Bivouac, and
I'm
come back next week.
Regards Marie giving 100 on Bivouac.
So I might be chasing from a long way out next week, but that's all right. Let's see how we go. Good luck.
No worries, mate.
Good luck, punters. All the best for Black Caviar Lightning Stakes Day. Stay safe with everything going on at the moment, and we'll catch you on Tuesday night for the midweek preview.
Perfect.